Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Dad, coming to you not live from the office upstairs. And I don't have a whole lot of time, but I wanted to make this video to talk to you girls about our trip to Iceland and what we're doing and stuff like that. So without further ado, here we go. So you might remember when we went to Sanibel Island down here, or you might remember when we went to the Northwoods in Wisconsin up on Lake Superior up here by Ashland, Wisconsin and Hayward, Wisconsin. And you also might remember when we went on our big trip over here to Denmark, to Copenhagen, and to Oslo in Norway, and a couple of other places. Iceland is kind of a little bit more than halfway between Chicago and Copenhagen. It'll be about a 6-hour flight, I think. And not only is Iceland super duper far north in the world and the furthest north that we've ever been, but Reykjavik, the capital, is actually the northernmost capital city in the world. And we're going to Iceland for a few different reasons. The first one is just for fun and for adventure and to check out a part of the world that we haven't been to yet. And maybe to see some volcanoes and some glaciers and some cool wildlife and things like that. But we're also going there because, like, Iceland, much like Norway or Denmark or some of these other countries in these other Nordic countries or countries in Scandinavia, they're great places to live. So I think Iceland was maybe number 4 on the last World Happiness Report. So it's one of the happiest places to live, and that's based on what the people who live there say about their lives. It's also one of the most sustainable countries in the world. So they don't use a lot of fossil fuels, and they make really great decisions for the climate and things like that. And it's also one of the places in the world where women are treated the best and girls are treated the best. So we're going there to check it out so that someday if you decide that you want to go spend more time there, you can feel really good about going to do that. I'm going to show you some videos real quick about Iceland stuff. And yeah, let's keep going.
Iceland is as dramatic in the winter as it is at the height of summer, with tours to the highlights operating all year round. Reykjavik is on the coast of Iceland and is the country's capital and largest city. Home to fewer than 200,000 inhabitants, Reykjavik presents a wealth of sites and activities that appeal to culture, nature, and history enthusiasts alike. With an abundance of natural wonders, amazing scenic views, and so much nature, Reykjavik is a great place to visit. Before we get into
So that guy was kind of funny. I kind of think that was a robot, actually. I wanted to show you this quick video too. It's kind of like a little bit of history about like how Iceland came to be and how it was discovered, and it's kind of fun because it's a cartoon.
One fine day, a Viking got lost getting there and found himself sighting an island he was certain he'd never seen before. "There must be humans there," he exclaimed. "Look at all the smoke from the campfires," not realizing that volcanoes are more than capable of producing smoke without human habitation. Iceland is the land of fire and ice, literally, originating as a series of volcanoes in a fault line exploding its way out of the Norwegian Sea and cleaving itself into its ragged and barren landscape. There is some evidence that the Norse were in fact not the first settlers of the island, who may have been Gaelic monks from Ireland, but they didn't stay, presumably because
It's hard to believe that Mint Mobile can get any.
Uh-oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Hang on one sec.
it's bloody freezing. But as for the Norwegians, who were all too familiar with living in a frozen wasteland, to them it was absolute paradise. "This place is beautiful, isn't it? I shall call it Snowland." Alright, let's go home, it's freezing. Not long after, another sailor, Guthr Svarvason, also accidentally landed on the island. "This place is beautiful, isn't it? I shall name it Gatharshomi, after myself." Alright, let's go home, it's freezing. Finally, a third sailor, Rafna Floki Vilgetherson, sailed to the island on purpose this time. "This place is beautiful, isn't it? Huh, there's an awful lot of ice here. And so Iceland was born. News of this land filled with plenty of timber, ivory, and fish spread quickly in Norway. Ingolfr Arnason would set sail to the island in 874. As he neared the island, he threw 2 carved wooden pillars overboard and vowed to settle wherever they washed ashore, seeing it as a blessing from the gods. The pillars landed nearby to the settlement of what would become Reykjavik, meaning Smoky Cove after the geothermal steam rising from the rock. Just as a side note, remember this guy? Well, according to legend, he had a crew member that escaped when Gutha left for Scotland, and some believe that he and his slaves may have in fact become the first permanent settlers of the island. We will probably never know for sure. Ingolfr's settlement was by all evidence a very difficult life. The winters were harsh, livestock kept dying, and his Irish slaves killed his brother, for which he in turn pursued and killed in retribution. Which is, you know, a great start. But other than that,
I like that video because it's a cartoon and it's pretty funny. So this is the Rainbow Road in Reykjavik, and we're going to walk down it and check it out. I think probably the second or third day that we're there. But I thought I would show you just a few seconds of it so you can see what it's like and see what you think. So this road, I think, goes down kind of like the middle of the city and ends with the cool looking church. I think it's called like, what's it called? I can't remember the name of the church off the top of my head, but it should be pretty cool. So I'll stop there because this video is just a whole lot more of this, but it was pretty calm, chill, fun, easy. One of the things that's off the Rainbow Road that we're going to see, oh no, I forgot to change my tab. Sorry, this was the Rainbow Road. This is what I was trying to show you. Here, let's try that again. So yeah, it seems like a great place to see if we can find some lunch or a cinnamon bun or something like that. So one of the things that we're going to do while we're there is go on a whale watching tour, which, you know, it's funny, when we started planning this trip, going to see wildlife and stuff like that wasn't the first thing I had in mind. But as I've been thinking about it more and more, I think this is one of the things that I'm most excited about. I really want to see some whales. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. Some whales and some dolphins and some seals and some Arctic puffins and Arctic fox and things like that. We are also going to drive a couple hours outside of Reykjavik and check out this this glacier tunnel tour, which I'm trying to decide how much of this I want to show you, because I don't really want to give away everything about the trip. So I'll just show this little piece here. So I want to have some surprises on the trip too. I don't want you to know everything that's going to happen. So that is a tunnel through a real glacier. I think it's the second biggest glacier on Iceland, which would be funny because we hang out at Glacier in Vernon Hills so much. So when we come back, we can say that we actually went to a real glacier. But we have to dress really appropriately for this too, because I think it's really wet inside the glacier. I think you see the water there. Sometimes it's kind of drippy. So make sure you dress right when we're asking you guys to put on the right clothes. Please listen to us. That would be awesome. After we are in Reykjavik, we're gonna switch gears and go do something else. We're gonna stay at this place called Torfus, which I'm just gonna show you the video. It's just ridiculous. Check it out.
Sell online and grow your business.
Sorry about that. Let's try this again. those little places where it looks like there's logs or stones sticking out of the ground, those are actually like little geothermal hot tubs. Oh, that's a geyser. Yeah, we gotta go check that out. And it's while we're staying at horses that we're gonna take a day for you girls to go ride some horses. And the horses that are in Iceland are they're special, they're unique, they're their own species. They don't exist anywhere else in the world. No other horses are allowed on Iceland except for these horses. So I thought you might want to check them out a little bit too.
Hey everyone, I'm Alyssa from Discover the Horse, and welcome back to a new video. If you're new to the channel, I'm that horse person that's riding every breed. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 fascinating facts about Icelandic horses. At first glance, you can't help but fall in love with these horses, but there's a lot more to them than just those adorable faces. Let's get started.
Number 1. They are the only breed of horse in Iceland. They have been bred there for over 1,000 years, making them one of the purest breeds in the world. There are now Icelandic horse associations in 22 different countries, and equestrians are using these amazing horses for everything from jumping to working cows. Number 2. They are the original Viking horse. In the 9th and 10th centuries, Vikings brought their horses with them to Iceland. Number 3. They are a gaited breed, which means that in addition to the gaits that other horses have, the walk, trot, and canter, they also have a gait called the tolt, which is a smooth 4-beat gait. Some Icelandics have a 5th gait, which is called the flying pace. It's a fast lateral gait where both legs on each side move forward at the same time. These added gaits are natural for the horses, and they're very smooth, which makes them super comfortable to ride.
Leave a hands up in the comments below if you've ridden an Icelandic.
Number 4. Once a horse leaves Iceland, they can no longer return. No outside horses are allowed in either. Because of these strict regulations, there are almost no diseases in the horses, and no vaccines are needed. For anyone traveling to Iceland, all riding gear, such as riding boots and helmets, needs to be disinfected. Number 5. There are lots of them in Iceland. This country, with a human population of over 350,000, has 80,000 horses, which ends up being about 1 horse for every 4 people, meaning, if they wanted to, pretty much every family could own one, which I personally think is an excellent idea.
A little can go a long way. Your donation.
So pretty cool, huh? So yeah, we'll do a little bit of horseback riding, and then another thing that we were planning to check out is something called Seljalandsfoss, which is a pretty amazing waterfall. And yeah, I think the last thing I wanted to show you was some of these Arctic puffins that are super cute and pretty cool. Really can't wait to see some of these. There's no guarantee that you'll see them either because they're wild animals. Like, they do what they're going to do. But hopefully we get to check some of these guys out.
So you want to know where to see puffins in Iceland. Most people that visit Iceland in the summer are looking to see puffins. For good reason, they are the cutest bird ever. And by the way, did you know that they're monogamous? The best time to see puffins is from mid-April to mid-August. So if you're not coming during the summer months, you're not going to see them. The Atlantic puffin is dotted all over Iceland, along the cliffs. Some places are easily accessible, and some places you actually can only get to by an organized tour. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 places that you can see puffins. By the way, my name is Jeannie, and way back in 2015, I sold everything I owned, moved to Iceland, and now I want to help you plan the trip of your dreams, including seeing puffins. So let's get into it. The first place that you can see puffins in Iceland is in Vestmannaeyjar, aka the Westman Islands. This is a group of islands located off the south coast of Iceland. To get there, you can either take a ferry or an airplane. This is where you will find the location of Iceland's largest puffin colony. You have a couple of options here. You're able to take a boat tour to go ahead around the island and see the birds up close. Or you could take your vehicle on the ferry and drive out to the end of the island. One thing I want to note before we get too far into this video is that puffins are pretty friendly with people in that they're not scared of them, and they can see you around and they're not flying away or, hiding to get away. However, it's very important to note that these are birds in their natural habitat. What they do is they burrow out a little hole in the cliffside where they have their babies in their nests and they're safekeeping. And then they go and fly out to sea, fly back, get the fish, bring it to the babies, and kind of just hop around on land a lot. So
I'm going to stop there because, like I said, I want there to be some surprises on the trip too. I don't want you to see every single thing, but I do want you to be prepared for the trip that we're going to have, and I want you to know about the kinds of things that we're planning on doing and stuff like that. And, there's also plenty of room to do things that we don't have planned. That's kind of the adventure part of it. And that's about it. That's about all the time I have. You guys just got home from school. So I'm going to go downstairs and say hi to you now. I love you.